6 steps to improving employee performance. There are many ways to approach the challenge of identifying specific examples of poor employee performance. The reason this method works is simply that it shifts your focus to the behaviors of performance that needs correction rather than to the person who is not performing. Remember, your goal is to fix a behavior or performance problem, not to fix a person. Ideally, you will address the performance issue in a way that leaves the employee feeling confident that they can resolve the issue and remain a valued employee. Follow this simple yet powerful 6-step process to further develop your people leadership skills. Step 1. Identify all undesirable behaviors. To get started, we can generate a list including all undesirable behaviors of performance issues in your business. Your list will include everything that your employees do or do not do that you would like to change, ranging from people turning up late to low or poor quality outputs. If you work in a team with other team leaders or managers, you might get some value from completing this activity as a group. Shared knowledge improves your leadership skills. Note, if your list includes acts of gross misconduct that warrant a summary dismissal, please seek advice from your human resources advisor to resolve these issues. So, you're going to want to create a table where you list all of the behaviors that you would like to eliminate from your business, including poor job performance. Now, this might have anything to do with poor customer service, to not following procedures, to having some hostilities with other employees. So you want to write each of these down. Step 2, you want to identify which undesirable behavior to focus on. As is often the case, you will end up with more than one undesirable behavior or performance issue to resolve, in which case you should identify which one to resolve first. If your list includes undesirable behavior and poor performance, you might like to consider addressing the undesirable behavior first. It is normally easier to address behavioral problems, and you can usually see improvements straight away. A common question is, why not address all performance issues at once? And the answer is simply this. If you discuss too many issues with your employees in one go, you may overwhelm them and cause them to lose their self-confidence. Ideally, you will focus on the performance issue or behavior that causes the greatest problem for your business. By focusing on one behavior at a time, you will be taking a continuous improvement approach to performance management. Now, this step, you want to create a table, and you're going to pick the first behavior or performance that you would like to eliminate. So really, you're actually just prioritizing them in this step. Now, step 3, you want to identify all of the people who demonstrate this behavior. A good leader is fair and consistent. After selecting a behavior or performance issue to focus on, identify all people to demonstrate this behavior or performance issue. All right, also, do not make excuses for any one person. Making people accountable for their own behavior is a good leadership skill to develop. So in this step, you want to identify all the people who demonstrate this behavior. So in your last table you showed, or your last cell, you showed which behavior issues in priority that were affecting your business. Now you want to identify all the people who demonstrate that behavior. Step number 4, you want to clarify your expectations. Now that you have an understanding of what behavior or performance issue to resolve first, it is time to determine what you would like the undesirable behavior to be replaced with. Where possible, clarify your expectations. You can refer back to documented standards, your code of conduct, or records of previous discussions. This will give them a physical look at exactly what you're looking for. Now, just because you can prove that someone has seen the standard, this doesn't mean that the standard is the current enforceable standard. Your documented standard cease to be current the first time an employee does not comply with the standard and you do nothing about it. So you want to make sure that this is a procedure that is documented, that it is standard, and that this employee is acting outside, or that these employees are acting outside of what is the norm. Now, So in that step 4, you identified the desirable behavior. So in the next cell, you want to put down next to that, you want to say what you would like them to behave in instead. All right, so step 5. Why do you want to correct this behavior? What are the consequences to the business, the team, or the customer of the performance problem? To be assertive and to create a compelling reason for change, you got to use your skills to discuss the impact of their behavior. You got to explain this to the employees so that they definitely understand exactly what's going on. So in this step, you want to put in the next cell, you want to write down in that box, you want to write why do you want to correct this behavior? So if someone's taking excessive breaks, you want to place more pressure on your team about the insufficient resources to assist the customers and the impact that it has. Or if somebody isn't following procedures, you want to quantify exactly what the result is. If they're not wearing a safety helmet, say, you want to show that it could result in burns or it could result in, injuries to the skull that can be life threatening. So therefore, this is why you want to correct this behavior. Because the more compelling, the easier it is to convince the employee that what they're doing is wrong. Now, step 6. What has happened in the past to address this behavior or performance issue? Now you got to do a little investigative work. Talk to your human resources people or ask managers who have been around for a while what has occurred in the past. This is worth the effort because you might get some additional context. So, to give you an example, when you're about to address an issue of excessive smoking breaks, the manager uncovered that the previous manager was a chain smoker. The previous manager actively condoned smoking by chatting to the employees in the smoking lounge. In the performance discussion, the manager was able to open up with, I know in the past the previous managers did not discourage smoking. However, now, this is a great communication strategy because now you're letting them know that you understand they just been this way. You're not blaming them for their behavior, but you're making them understand that from here forward, it's going to be this way. So basically, in step 6, you want to say what happened in the past to address this behavior. And now you should have a table that basically shows all the things. It shows the problems. It shows the impact that problem's having. It shows why it needs to change. And then it shows, what happened in the past to address the issue. So now you have a full account of what these problems are, and you should be able to communicate them clearly with the employee. If you enjoyed this video, then join my Business Mastery Insider Secrets Club. There you'll have access to all my business mastery systems, over 1,000 business strategy videos, over 100 hours of Business Mastery University courses. You'll access my 10 business assessment tools, my 12 business planning tools, the Small Business Makeover, the 120-day performance challenge, the 6-month internet blueprint, thousands of business articles, over 700 business templates, and over 100 of my favorite business strategy ebooks. All of this for just $29 a month for a limited time. So join now.